Source 1 describes an Asian tribe called the Huns. Source 1 shares how the Huns were extremely savage and uncivilized. They are very violent and spread chaos. This shows how dangerous outside groups were to Rome. The constant raids to the Roman Empire weakened it greatly.
The excerpt that you said was written by a Roman historian, so I believe that might have been a little bit over exaggerated. But I do agree when you look at source 2 that the Huns were a main problem. But not just the Huns, but multiple empires invaded Rome at multiple times in that same time period, and it was over across the whole nation or empire. The military was not strong enough to maintain the lands, and they suffered heavy losses. This caused some big problems, and I believe that was an external problem.
The Huns used big horses to take over the Rome army because they were faster and Rome didn't have any.
But I don't think it's just external. I also think it's internal. Over the course of 50 years, there were 22 emperors who were killed, whether it was assassination, suicide, killed in battle, or the plague. 22 of those emperors died. So I don't think it was all just external, but I also believe there were internal problems that ended up killing the empire.
The internal problem of the plague not only killed a bunch of emperors, it also had a big problem with the community and citizens. It swept over the land and caused many deaths and a big population decrease. Another problem that they had was they had many natural disasters, and this is a big external problem. It shook the Roman Empire and changed all their landscapes and caused a lot of damage.
Also, for internal, they were in a big financial crisis where all the poor people fled and the rich people, and they lost half of their, what's it called?
Plebeians? Or lower class.
Men, farmers, slaves, and many others.
I feel like that also then goes into source 2, where you realize that maybe their army also didn't have enough food to continue moving. This easily could have been an internal problem for that their army was not strong enough to continue the battle, ending up killing off the Roman Empire.
Another point with not enough soldiers, the plague killed a ton of soldiers, which left them needy for people to fight, and so they struggled to make an army after the disease wiped out their people.
With Carter and what he was saying, I feel like also would have been how they lost their working class, how they lost their plebeians. I think when you add all of that, they had a lot of their rich, the upper class. So when you think about that, they didn't have many recruits come back in. So that probably lowered their military source very much.
To kind of build off of talking about the military, in source 3 it shares how the plates and the armor that the soldiers wore was not the best quality. So the people that already were in the military and those numbers were already lacking, the people that were in were not even the best off. So the military was definitely not the most strong.